There's just canadal and knadel.
Canadal. K-N-A-I-D-E-L. Canadal.
There's a reason why spelling bee exists in the English language, and that's because English spelling is complicated. Well, there is obviously something wrong with the English spelling itself. Have you ever thought why some words simply doesn't make sense when you try to spell it out? It's not even close to the actual pronunciation. For instance, what do you think this word is pronounced as? Well, you might think, first of all, as a Ghoti or Ghotai, maybe, but no, it's not. It's actually another word for fish. It's pronounced fish. But why? That's because in enough, the GH makes the F sound. In woman, the O makes the I sound. And the word nation, the TI makes the SH or the shift sound. Now you see what I meant? Good. Well, for most English learners, spellings can be quite hard, especially when the spelling does not match the pronunciation. Wait, did you see that? I spell pronunciation with the OU, which is obviously wrong. Well, I purposely made that mistake so you can get what I'm trying to say. Well, it's not that bad actually, but it's just one word, right? No, it isn't. There's tons of words in a dictionary that does the same thing. Well, even native speakers themselves will sometimes struggle with English spellings and will often make these kind of minor and small mistakes. Well, one example I'll give is the removal and the replacement in English spellings. Like for instance, OU to U. In the word pronounce, it's spelled with the OU, but in pronunciation, when extended, its O is removed. And we can see another example in the 4 and 40, the U is removed instead. In the next one, the D in the fridge is removed when it becomes refrigerator. PH to F, where the PH becomes F, just Philippines and the Filipino. U in curious and curiosity. Literally no one can tell how a word is actually pronounced unless they themselves or others heard of it. This word that have spellings that is not even close to the actual pronunciation. Well, the first one, you might think this is colonel, as in colony, but no, it's called colonel. Next one, if you're not a native speaker, you might think this is cow, as in count, or coup, as in coop, but no, it's pronounced as cough. Non-native speakers might think this is a phylum, as in file, but no, it's phlegm. Scene, as in scene, no, it's Sean. Quiche, as in quick, right? No, it's pronounced as quiche. For the last one, you might think this one is forecastle, right? Because you just combine fore and castle, but no, it's forecastle. It was standardized in 16th century, and the problem with that is that we are stuck with the same spelling despite the changes of pronunciation throughout the time. The pronunciation itself has evolved as time goes on. However, the way we spell stays the same, and basically it's frozen through the time, thanks to the printing press. English also have a history of culture immersion and borrowing of language, like for example such as Latin, Germanic, Norse, French, and etc. The most impactful one would be the Norman invasion of England. Well, English spellings also attempt to preserve the way how the original words are spelled from outside of its influence. So this is where the silent letters comes in. I like to call it extra letters were added just for fun. All of these letters when being spelled are required to be put in. For example, in B, silent B, such as in debt and doubt, derives from the Latin debitum. P as in receipt, Latin recepta. As in island, in Old English it was called island or island. However, in Latin it's called insula. Psychology, pneumonia, and pterodactyl, the PS, PT, and PN derives from the Greek, where the P is actually pronounced, but however, English does not allow the PS, PT, and PN sound. Therefore, the P sound is silent. Another thing I want to point out is that English spelling is complicated with too many spelling rules, and not only that, the spelling rule itself has too much exception. This results in inconsistency with the spelling structures in English language. One example would be bite, fight, hide, and white. Although all of these 4 words have completely different spellings, they all rhyme. They sound very similar at the end. Words that have similar spellings that are pronounced completely different. For example, is the OUGH ending.
The, tough, thorough.
All of these words have similar spellings but completely different in pronunciation. Words with G ending, college, huge, and image, they do not rhyme, do not sound similar at all, despite having almost the same spelling at the end. A single vowel can have many different ways of pronunciation, like the letter E, for example. In word B, the E that sounds like I. In here, the E sounds like ear, and many more ways to pronounce it. Another example will be the letter O, like calm and bomb. The O sound like an O. However, in tune, this O sound like a U, but in words such as true and blue, they do not contain O. However, the U sounded like O. Here's a list of words that rhymes with each other but have completely different spellings. Bus and fuss rhymes with bus, thus, must, bus, fuss, and thus. Blue rhymes with true, to, you. Here rhymes with here, cheer, and blur. Here's a list of words that have same pronunciation but with different spellings.
Flower, fair, bear, base, sell, one, none.
These are words that have the same spelling but have different pronunciation, also known as homographs. The first one, read, for example, rhymes with the read, which means to perceive information. Read rhymes with read, past tense of to read. Live rhymes with give, to be alive. Rhymes with 5, which means being alive. And here's the 2 words that have completely different meaning but spelled almost the same. Bass rhymes with face, which means a low voice in a harmony. Bass rhymes with mass, a species of fish. Minute rhymes with limit, which means a time of 60 seconds. Minute rhymes with unmute, extremely small. Lead rhymes with mean, which means to guide. Lead rhymes with the word red, an element of plumbum. You can see all of these examples throughout the English language itself. This is very common element. Here's the silent letters that I categorize it as hypercorrection because it was a correction that was unnecessary. For example, in the silent B, which is next to the word with M, like dumb, cum, lamb, and crumb. All these words, the B is silent. Although it was pronounced in Old English, but the sound slowly disappeared throughout the time, which in this case we no longer pronounce the word B in these kind of words. Another one is Q. The entire QUEU can be silent and you can still pronounce it correctly. Just Q. Just put it Q. Well, in short, English spelling is complex. It's not easy. It's very tough for beginners especially, and also even professionals can make mistakes sometimes. And it's a weird combinations of different language merged together to form a variation. These result in a word that doesn't sound the same as what it's spelled. And in other terms, I would say it made the English language quite fancy, unless you're the one that makes a spelling mistake. It's a new form of trolling English learners. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and hit the like button down below for more random content. Thank you.